Let's make our trance production step by step, shall we? Welcome everybody to this video. I'm Casate Cruz, DJ and producer, and today we are breaking down my song Paralyzed. In this video I'm gonna show you how I made this classic trance production step by step, which elements the song contains, how they're mixed and how they're built on top of each other. Or just to give you a look behind the scenes how I produce my music. So without further ado, let's get started. This song is a classic, unclassic trance production. Classic in that way that it features a slowly building arpeggio that you can often hear when we're talking about trance. Unclassic in that regard that it plays in 128 BPM. My most trance productions are around 140 BPM. I wanted this driving arp element, while at the same time sticking to the tempo range most of my other productions are in. With that in mind, let's dive into the song and have a look on two major elements of this track. A pluck mainly present in the part and the arp mainly present in the drop, but of course throughout the track blending in together. For the pluck I'm using a simple 8th note pattern with 3 notes, so it's a very simple one but a very effective one, as you're gonna hear in 1 second. So this is the pluck unprocessed. Sounds alright, but we can elevate that sound tremendously. Starting with saturation to boost the harmonics and some distortion with Camel Crusher, a free distortion plugin. Then I added an EQ to cut the low frequencies, some delay, some reverb. Now we got this. For the last bit of power we have OTT, some multiband up and down compression, pancake to pan the sound from the left to the right, so from the left to the right speaker. You can hear this very good when you're listening with headphones. It's a very cool effect. And also kickstart for this extra jumpy sound, so we apply some ducking and also a little bit of sidechaining. And now we came from this to this. The key thing with almost every element in this song are a lot of automations, as you can see in the project here. Mostly to fade sounds slowly in and out throughout the track, just like a trance production works most of the time. In this case, with the pluck, it's a simple filter automation, remove the high pass and automated the cutoff frequency. So throughout the first part, the pluck slowly filters out while the main synth filters in, but we get there. So let's have a look at the main arp lead. As you can see, it consists of a lot of 16th notes, so it's pretty fast and follows a classic arp pattern with 3 notes that go up and repeat. And the distances between the notes increase with every bar, so the sound goes higher and higher and therefore is building more tension. We also have 2 layers, so overall we have more or less somewhat like 9 different voices with the synth. But let's focus on the main lead layer first. So this is it unprocessed. So, and as always, we add some blood overdrive for saturation. This time thermal for distortion, also to make the sound much wider. And an EQ to cut the low frequencies, which also makes the sound much smoother because there is a lot of low end information. It could be something we want to keep, but not in this case. Because most of the time this also brings a lot of issues. So we're cutting low frequencies, make the sound smoother, and now we have this. So to enhance the sound even further, we have delay, stereo enhancer, no reverb because we already have a lot of reverb in Serum directly. Then also OTT again, multi-band up and down compression for that extra in-your-face sound, and kickstart to duck the sound to make it feel like it's jumping. And with all this processing, we now have this. And when we're now adding two more layers, one is playing one octave higher and the other one is playing one octave lower. Both of them have much less processing, only saturation, EQ to cut the low frequencies, and the ducking with kickstart. But together we now have this. And on the main layer, you can see it here, we also have two different filtering automations. One is the classic, easy to use filtering sound with removed high pass and then an automated cutoff frequency. And the other one is the filter cutoff directly in Serum, so this one right here. In easy words, the first filtering automation blurs the sound and the filter in Serum shapes the sound and only applies to the two of the three overall oscillators. And this gives us a very nice build-up before the drop. We also have another key melodic element, some vocal Atmo. And I love this type of sound because it has such a huge impact on the whole soundscape. And with one simple trick, we can make it contribute quite differently to the song because of an automation. But first, let's listen to the pure raw sample. Beautiful already, but let me show you an amazing plugin that I discovered recently. Space Blender. Technically it's some kind of reverb, but in practice it's a space machine that transforms your sound. Sounds wide? Yeah, I know, because this plugin really is. We lack the time in this video to go through it completely, but when you listen you can hear that it someone adds new sound to the vocal and is transforming it into a full pad sound. Isn't that beautiful? I love this one. So this is the first major element on this vocal Atmo. Then you probably knew this would come. We also add more saturation, EQ to cut the low frequencies, and the most important piece of effects on the sound, Trance gate. So it's some kind of stutter effect, and when we automate the output of this plugin, we can seamlessly blend between the wide original sound that you already heard and some stuttered vocals that build a lot of tension. So as you can see here, especially in the second drop, when this vocal Atmo is playing, we have the output of Trance gate right here, So it's activated and then it's slowly decreasing, goes up directly and slowly decreasing, and so on and so on and so on. And this sounds absolutely amazing. And this is what I meant when I said that we have one automation here that, depending on the adjusted amount, contributes quite differently to the whole soundscape of the track. Alright, with all that in mind, let's proceed to the song arrangement and all the other elements we have in this track. But we have our three major melodic elements. We have the pluck, we have the arp, and we also have the vocal Atmo. And these are the most important elements because we filter them in, we filter them out, blend them together, and this is the most important thing in this whole track. Overall, in the beginning, we start with our vocal Atmo. We have the three automations down here. Then we also have our pluck that is starting full and complete in the beginning, and then slowly filters out with the second half of this first part. Then we also, of course, have kick, bass, and some drums, a rolling head, and also an open head, and I also added a clap. And in terms of the drums in this song, it's not so different to my other melodic techno productions. So if you want to know more how I mixed them, just check out my last song breakdown, or I also made a complete drum guide with everything you need to know about building amazing drum loops from start to finish. Alright, and for the first part, what is also very important is our main arp lead. That is coming in, starting at the second half of the first part, and slowly filters in with the automations I showed you earlier. So you could say the pluck and the main arp sound are changing places slowly. So overall, let's listen to the first part with all the other elements. So and now let's listen to the build up and the drop. And in the drop, we of course have our main arp lead playing completely how it should be in full effect. Then the pluck is only playing the same note just to take some power out of it, and is also filtered a lot. And that's it for this video and the song breakdown. If you like this video, please give thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I frequently upload new songs and also a lot of videos on the technical side of electronic music productions with a lot of tutorials. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Until then, have an amazing day or night and see you soon.